We have all been there. You rush to get to work, then you get stuck waiting on this train that's crossing, and sometimes it just seems to go on forever and may even stop moving.
Yeah, so a 13 News Now viewer reached out to our Verify team and they asked, is there a legal limit for train length or how long trains can block an intersection? So to verify the answer, I talked to Norfolk Southern, a lawyer, and the Federal Railroad Administration. And here's what I found out. To tackle this Verify question, 13 News Now legal analyst Ed Booth cited Chapter 13 of the Virginia Code of Law on Railroad Corporations, Section 56-412.1. It states in part, quote, "It shall be unlawful for any railroad company to obstruct for a longer period than 5 minutes the free passage on any street or road by standing cars or trains across the same," end quote. The rule goes on to say companies could face a fine up to $500 per violation, but there are exceptions.
The law in the book says that unless there's mechanical failure or some other emergency, trains are supposed to pass on through the intersection and not stop. Now, that isn't always what happens, but that's what the law says.
That's the state law, but railroads are regulated by the federal government. Norfolk Southern Public Relations Director Susan Turpay tells us while Norfolk Southern realizes states sometimes want to regulate in this area, federal law preempts state and local laws. Desiree French, public affairs specialist with the Federal Railroad Administration, confirms this. She says, quote, "Currently, there is no federal regulation on the amount of time an idle train may block a public highway rail grade crossing." So the next time you're stuck waiting for a stopped train, Susan Turpay wants you to remember Norfolk Southern's freight trains can be as long as 1.5 miles, but crossings are often spaced closer together than that. And if a train needs to stop for a valid reason, this can result in a blocked crossing. So we can verify it is against state law for freight trains to block the road for longer than 5 minutes, but the rule only applies if the train has insufficient cause, and state law can be preempted by federal regulations. Lucy?
Very interesting. All right, Ashley, thank you.